Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to look at our final team reveal for the 2025 AFL SuperCoach season. So with opening round come and gone, we ended up with only 2 games due to the cyclone. So as I've said on the previous videos, hopefully if you have struggled throughout, hopefully things are on the up, and yeah, all the best out there. But with that, I guess some slight changes to the team. Obviously, the players from Brisbane, Geelong, the Gold Coast and Essendon become a little bit more popular, perhaps, given that they won't be having a bye in round 3. Actually, I think Gold Coast and Essendon still have it in round 3, but then they have another one later or something. I forget how that works. But yeah, Brisbane and Geelong are now playing in round 3, so it does make it a little bit easier for that round as well, which is nice for us as super coaches. So we'll put the team together, pretty well locked in. Obviously, team list may change a couple of the cheapies, but based on the information I've found up to this point, fairly confident in 30 of the 31 slots. So we'll start in defence. We'll just go through in regular order. And D1, Harry Sheezel, most popular defender in the game. And I think with good reason. Just sort of set and forget. Happy with him there. I might have to go away from the percentage ownership for now, just so I can find my other guys. So D2, I've gone with Jordan Clark. So I guess sort of, I've had Luke Ryan in a previous version. It sounds like Clark is a similar type in that Fremantle defence, but maybe just offers a little bit more value. And Fremantle have a pretty favourable bye schedule as well, so happy to lock him in. D3, so I'm still going to go with James Sicily. As you can see, he scored 92 on the weekend in opening round. But I think, he can still be okay. Might not make a lot of money, but will hold value and score us some points until we're ready to decide where we're going to upgrade. D4 is a pretty popular choice, and I could have probably gone back to the percentages at this point, but Matt Roberts, 124 on the weekend, really nice, and that will go into his rolling average, albeit leading into the round 3 bye. But we'll take the value that's there, and a lot of people are talking about him as a potential cut price keeper, so we'll lock him away. D5, we're going pretty big in defence. We're going with Perryman. So he scored a 93 on the weekend, which I think does offer a bit of value at the price. Yeah, so a break even of 77. Looks like he's playing more of a midfield role, so if he can average 90, should make us about 100k, which is probably more than enough. And then we're going with the cheapies, so I will swing back to percentages because I think they're all fairly highly owned. Well, the top 2 are anyway, Reed and Leake. So it sounds like if Reed can stay on the park, he's a bit injury prone, but he's good cash maker. And Leake scored 64 on the weekend, which is good signs of what's to come, hopefully. The third choice, which is not quite so high up on the list, but I've seen him in a few of the content creators teams, so I'll run with it, and that's Jackson Pryor. So not too sure about him, but as I said, I can see a lot of teams running with him. I think in saying that, if we do get the likes of a trainer as an interesting option at the price, it doesn't sound like we're going to get Al Hooley, so Pryor is that cheap option there as well. Probably, yeah, if we get trainer, we may downgrade, save an extra 50k, but I guess from all reports it sounds like Pryor is a little bit more locked in, so I'll go with the guys that know a bit more about me, and in fact I think most of them have him starting, so I'll put him in there. So that's the defence. into the midfield. So again, if we switch back to highest price first. So we are avoiding all these guys. I was looking at Dacos until he dropped, I think it was a 60 in the first round. So you can see with a break even of 117, he will drop in value. And given he still has the buy in round 3 as well, was going to be a bit of a tough one to hold through that time anyway. So it sort of made the decision for me. But with M1 rather, we're going with Andy Brayshaw. So sounds like he was playing injured for the start of last year. So if he's fully fit, ready to go this year, we do expect him to outscore his average, which at 110, yeah, it would be very nice to see. We've had John Newcomb for pretty much all of preseason in at M2, but I can't ignore the score on the weekend. I'm flipping to Will Day. So 148 on the weekend means he should get a bit more of a bump in cash. I sort of thought maybe we could get that from Newcomb, but Day looks pretty good. And at 32% ownership, I think it's sort of just going with the crowd a bit, which is fine. So we'll put Will Day in at M2. After that, I've got to go back to my notes because I've already forgotten. So I just had to work out what order they were in. Oliver 3. Don't think we need to say too much about that. Absolute steal at the price. Adam Chera, if he can stay fit, a bit like a couple of these guys that are on the cheap, he'll outscore that 83 average. And Will Ashcroft, it was a bit of a tough ask to hold these lines, guys, but now they don't have the buy in round 3. I think, I think you just look at the ownership of a Lachie Neale. It's up to 24%, just off the back of the fact that he hasn't got an early buy anymore. So, I probably do have the money to squeeze him in over a day or something, but I'm taking the value at the moment. So, so happy with those 5 in the starting lineup. And then we're going pretty cheap after that, and I want ownership percentage. So a lot of the popular options, Levi's in there, Sardis is in there, and I thought he was more popular than this, but O'Driscoll. So the 3 sort of premium priced rookies look like they've got decent job security, should score well. So happy to have them in the team. And then on the bench, I think might have gone past already. But Nevitt on the bench. Also Kako's on the bench here. And then the M11. So this is the one I'm not too sure about, and it will depend on team lists. I've got Camporelli in there as a placeholder, but it could be him, it could be Boxall, it could even be one of these more expensive cheapies if they do get a run. But it all depends on the upcoming team lists. So M11 may change, but pretty much the others I'm pretty comfortable with locking them in. Onto the rucks, so pretty standard, I think. The top 3, Tristan Cherry, Tom De Koning, Harry Boyd. So Cherry, I think, will be R1 for the season, so locking him away. Tom De Koning, while he's got the solo ruck early doors, looks like he could push up to keeper status. Gives us a bit more of an opportunity to look at the other guys and make the move a bit easier if need be. And hopefully Harry Boyd gets some game time and makes us some cash, if not, nice and cheap. I guess we could give it away now, but we will put... it changes it up anyway. But we are going to put Flynn in the flex. So, he'll be the playing sort of ruck cover, which is fine. And then the forwards. So the big 3, McRae, Daniel, Horn, Francis, doesn't matter the order. We are fading Bailey Smith, so doesn't look like he's got as much value as we would have anticipated at the start of the year. So we're just going to wait and see in terms of our forwards. I don't know how popular he is. So he's up there. So we're going with Garcia as our F4. So looks like he's going to play in that midfield role until Philippou comes back, so then it's a pretty easy sort of flip at that point. And then we're going with, can't find him, Patton. So obviously we could put him in defence potentially, but we'll play him up front. It gives us a little bit of flexibility, which is nice. Sam Davidson looks like he's in most people's teams, 56%. Hewitt, popular cheapie, so we're getting him in. And then Connor Stone as well. So another 60-point return for a cheapie this week in opening round. So we'll take the value on offer there. So that's the squad. We'll save that up. I think I've pretty much listed them as they're going to play. So we'll just put the emergencies in. Probably Hewitt over Stone, Boyd, Nevitt as an emergency, and probably Reed. So yeah, so as you can see, we've got 107k in the bank as well. So there is a bit of flexibility with these cheapies, which is nice. You know, as I said, if we get Trainer, we could downgrade Pryor, which could then, you know, potentially open up a bit more of an opportunity with the M11. You know, but I think even then with 100k we can get any of those bottom dollar cheapies that, or sorry, not even bottom dollar, the premium price cheapies that crop up. You know, it just gives us that little bit of extra flexibility, which is pretty handy for the start of the year. But yeah, that's the team. I'll just zoom out a little bit, try to fit them all in. Maybe not quite. No, I can't quite get Matt Flynn in there. We know Matt Flynn's in the flex. So we'll wrap it up there. Actually, before we wrap it up, I think we've got to get someone in our league. So we've had a late withdrawal. I don't know what's happened with the overall league too. I might just bin that. It's just me and Shano. So sorry, Shano, but we'll bin that. But yeah, we've had someone drop out. So if you are interested, the league code there, 142767. But I'll copy it up now and throw it in the description below this video. If not, we'll just throw one of the quote-unquote experts in there. So yeah, that was the last bit I had to do. So it's cut out. That's usually a sign that we need to wrap it up. So as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the SuperCoach content. Oh, sorry, the AFL SuperCoach content. I guess if you enjoy the NRL stuff too, give it a like. Why not? But subscribe for all of that fantasy sports content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.